Hello everyone, welcome to our History of Civilization video project. Today we will briefly introduce ancient Egypt pharaoh Ramses II, Hittite kingdom Hattusili, Battle of Kadesh, and the Treaty of Kadesh. After introducing, we will discuss the impact of Treaty of Kadesh. So, Ayda, please.
Okay, in 1274 BC, Ramses II, a youthful Egyptian king, commanded an army of 20,000 troops against 40,000 Hittite forces. At Kadesh, both sides will engage in one of history's oldest documented wars for Egypt's security and prosperity. And here is the Ramses II, sometimes known as Ramses the Great, is one of Egypt's most well-known pharaohs. Ramses II was the 19th dynasty's third pharaoh. He was in power for 68 years. Ramses II was regarded as a brilliant warrior who fought in several conflicts. The Battle of Kadesh, according to Ramses II, was a triumph because he vanquished his foe. While the Battle of Kadesh appears to have had a continuous ending, it did result in Ramses II and Hattusili III, Muwatalli II's successor, signing the world's first known peace treaty.
People call me Usarma Atre Setependre, which means keeper of the harmony and balance, strong in right, Ras elect. I was ruling my people for quite a long time, that many generations born with the knowledge that I am the pharaoh. My people thought that when I die, the world will come to an end. Apparently it did not. When I woke up, I saw my mummy and saw that it is approximately 6 feet. Now I know my height. I cannot find my 200 wives and concubines and 156 children. Where are they? I have been fighting brilliantly for many conflicts and brought same number of victories. In the Battle of Kadesh, I was fighting against the Hittites. The battle reinforced my reputation as a warrior as well. That battle was a triumph because I have vanquished my foe. However, I heard my opponent Muwatalli II, the Hittite ruler, declared, however, the Hittites has prevailed. Ridiculous. When I ended up by signing we ended up by signing a peace treaty, which I saw according to my history knowledge.
And next is the Hittite king Muwatalli II. At that time, the Hittite kingdom, which was the other side of Kadesh War, was ruled by the Muwatalli II. After the death of his father, Mürsel II, he was the eldest son, so he sat on the throne. He had 2 brothers and 1 sister. According to some rumors, he used to fight a lot with his brothers. In order to get more information about him, I invite the second Muwatalli to introduce himself. If he looks very sleepy, don't worry, it's okay. He just got up from the grave and that's all. He has been doing nothing but sleeping for 3,293 years.
Hi guys, sorry I'm a little bit tired. A crazy woman came and tried to wake me from my grave. Even though I said 5 more minutes, it didn't work. I guess she needs me for schoolwork. Anyway, I don't know what the other women said about me, but listen to me. Friends, my name is Muwatalli. I was born and raised in a graceland city of Anatolia in 1295 BC. As I get older, I started to take roles in the administration of the kingdom, and after my father died, I became the Hittite king. Rest in peace, big boy. After I took the throne, I tried to expand our borders even more. While I was trying to expand our borders from the south and east, I also sent my brother to fight with Kashka, who were attacking from the north. We fought a war in Syria with our strongest enemy in the south, the Egyptians. And of course, I won this war. If you look out the window, you can still see the escaping Egyptian soldiers.
Now, let's talk about the war. King of the Egyptians, Ramses II, who did not have a policy of expansion for many years, finally wanted to expand his lands. And his target was Amuri and Amka, two cities of the Hittites. Gathering his army, Ramses set out for the Hittite kingdom, while the Hittite king, Muwatalli II, gathered his army and started to move towards the Egyptian army. This war seemed to be the biggest war up to that time. There were around 65,000 soldiers in total. Deceived by the information Ramses received from the Hittite spies he had captured, he fell into complacency, but at that time the Hittite army was deployed to attack the unit of Ra, consisting of 5,000 infantry. Behind Ramses and away from Ptah and Set troops. When Ramses realized this, it was too late. The Hittite army attacked the Ra unit. First came the troops of Ammon, led by Ramses, and then troops of Set and Ptah. While the Egyptians lost lots of infantry in this war, the Hittites also lost of chariots. Then the Egyptians began to flee, but the Hittites could not follow them because their chariots were poor condition. Okay, the Kadesh Covenant, also known as the Eternal and Silver Treaty, is a peace treaty between the Egyptian king Ramses II and the Hittite king Muwatallish. Instead of Muwatallish, who died before signing the treaty, it was signed and implemented by the Hittite king, Hattushili II. Kadesh, it is thought to have been signed around the Orontes River in the early 13th century BC, is also the first treaty signed in the Near East, oldest ever recorded, based on the principles of equality. The treaty was written in Akkadian and also copied into Egyptian and Hittite. The Kadesh Treaty is a peace treaty signed in order to prevent the turmoil caused by the victory of both sides after the Battle of Kadesh and to create an environment of peace in the region. In fact, the treaty itself did not exactly bring peace. An atmosphere of hostility prevailed in both Egyptian and Hittite civilizations until the final alliance agreement was signed. However, in terms of treaty nature, it represents peace. The Kadesh Covenant has two main important articles. Initially, they will send help for problems in any kind of attack that will be made for 2 ways or outside. Additionally, people who fled from Egypt to Hatti country or from Hatti country to Egypt will be extradited to their own countries, but these people will not be severely punished. As can be understood from these two articles, the treaty aimed to increase the level of prosperity in the region and to provide an environment of peace and tranquility between the two states. The Kadesh Covenant still has an international significance today. Thus, Treaty of Kadesh clay tables temple found in Boğazköy, excavations, and now it is exhibited at the Istanbul Archaeology Museum.
Copy of Kadesh Treaty found in Hattusha hangs in the United Nations building in New York. In the text, generally goodness, truth, and justice are mentioned, as I mentioned. It is a symbolic representation of peace in international relation. Also, a replica clay table displayed the text of the treaty, which has found in Boğazköy, Hattusha, was presented to the U.S. Secretary General Utent by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Turkey, İhsan Sabri Çağlayangil. This gift adorns the wall of the United Nations building in New York. The Kadesh Peace Treaty is not considered the first peace treaty in the history, however. It is known that before the time there was around 20 treaties in which the victorious kingdoms imposed surrender on the vanquished. However, the factors such as equality of the parties, the softness of language used, and the intention of being peacemaking taking into consideration, it can be said that it is the first text that can be accepted as diplomatic. And also it is realistic. It has a realistic size that reflects there is no permanent enemy or allies. Thank you for watching us.